shelter. Oh, my single bed. Hi, welcome to another One Chart lesson. Bob Marley, the great Bob Marley, one of my favourite artists actually. It's taken me a while to do one of his songs, but this is one of his crackers, and he had a lot. Is This Love is originally in the key of F sharp minor. This is an arrangement for an acoustic guitar. This is a way that you can play this song on one guitar by yourself and have it sound pretty good. You can do a strumming simple version of this song, but I find that moving it into this key of E minor as opposed to F sharp minor lets you use a few open strings and lets you do some of these riffs, these iconic riffs, a little bit more, I don't know, flowingly. See what you think. At the end of this video, I will give you a rundown of the way that you would play it in the original key, which is F sharp minor, or F sharp minor 7 if you like. But either way, this is an arrangement for an acoustic guitar. So we start with the chords. Now the chords are pretty classic Bob Marley chord progressions. If we're in the key of E minor, it's E minor over your main riff, and I'll show you how to do the riff in a minute, followed by a C. Now the C bar chord up here will give you these high notes, which sounds good in this song, but you can also do that there. And of course you can do all of these with the open chords. I'll show you how that sounds in a moment. But from that C, you go down to a G, and one of the other sort of iconic bits of this song is not iconic, but it's a little signature bit, is that dun, 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 where it kind of steps down, and you'll hear a guitar kind of do those sort of runs, and up higher as well. The bass sometimes does it, but what it's doing basically is going from G to F sharp minor down to the E minor 7. Right? So I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love you. Okay, now here comes the riff. Start with that bottom E string underneath your E minor 7 chord and go. So third finger on the 7th fret of the E string, then go 5, 7 on the A, 5 on the D, and you're using first and third fingers here because it makes it easy to jump across, and it keeps that natural 1 fret space in between those two notes. So back to 7 on the A, back to 7 on the E, 5 on the A, 7 on the E, 7 on the A, like this. Okay, however you play that, whatever fingers, I find those the most comfortable, first and third fingers on the 5th and 7th frets. And when you go across there from 7 to 7, I use my third finger on the A string and second finger on the E string. That's most comfortable for me, seems to make sense, not a written rule. The second bit is based on the C chord. Now you can do this here, but I think it sounds a little bit better and it's easier to get to down here. So you go C chord, then 3, 7, big jump from your first finger to your pinky, or you can go use that E here instead of the E here. In fact, that probably makes more sense. I don't know why I jump up here to do it. Probably because I've been up here around the 7th fret for the E minor. But you land here on the 4th fret of the G string. That last note is when the E minor chord begins again. So you can land on that note and then follow it quickly with the E minor like this. Or you can miss out that last note and make sure you land on the E minor like this. I find it's better to complete that riff and then follow it through with the E minor 7. Again, find your own path there. This is an arrangement. this is how I think it's possible to play this song and make it sound kind of good and flowing and energetic. So that whole riff from the start. Do it again, and from the C, half the riff, then into the G. I wanna love you. Now, the whole song is kind of one big section repeated 3 times, and it starts to fade on the 3rd time. But that intro section gets you into the beginning of the verse. Now, at the very beginning of the verse, you do that E minor chord. I say E minor, but it's E minor 7, E minor, either one works. I wanna love you. And go straight to the C. So it's 1 bar of E minor, straight to the C. Every other time it does it, except at the very beginning of each verse, you do that E minor and you have the riff. So it's 2 bars worth of E minor, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then onto the C, right? But the very beginning of the verse, it's just I wanna love you, 2, 3, 4, and treat you right. I wanna love you, riff. Every day and every night. Now, the strumming. This is where the bar chords come in really handy, because what you want to do is cut those chords short. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I find going down from the G to the F sharp minor, it's best if you don't lay too heavily on the bass note. It sounds kind of better if you kind of don't play that bass note as much as possible. If you do, it's not a problem, but just takes away a little bit from that. So that's your strumming. You want to cut those chords short. If you're just strumming through like open normal chords and taking the easy way on this song, that's absolutely fine, but it's going to sound like this. I want to love you and treat you right. I want to love you. And you can do that riff here. Every day and every night we'll be together. With a roof right over our heads. Right, so strumming it will work if you want to just do the easy open chord strumming version. When you get to the next section, however, that's the pattern that takes you all the way through the verse. Then when you get to the next section, and he goes, is this love, is this love, is this love, love that I'm feeling. It's two bars on B minor 7, followed by two bars on A minor 7, and then you repeat that again. Playing with the reggae strumming, you can add those little extra upstrums in there as well. Is this love, is this love, is this love, love that I'm feeling. Coming to the next section where he goes, whoa, whoa. A minor 7, B minor 7, C. I do a C sus2 there because it's easy for my fingers to get around. And come up to the D, which is also a D sus2. Right, so. The strumming to get those chords landing on the right spot. Down, up, down, down. Then you get those 2 little chimey notes, which are not strictly guitar notes, but they're those. You can play harmonics on the 7th fret D, 7th fret A, or you can play them on the 5th fret of the E and the B strings. Either way, it sounds like this. I got to know, got to know, got to know now. Now, some people will think that that's a C chord. It's actually an A minor 7 chord, and the reason why I think that, they're very similar. There's the A minor 7, there's the C. They're very, very closely related. I would play the A minor 7 there because the very next line, he goes up the A minor 7, B minor 7, C to D again, and and then another one of those notes, which is hard to grab and keep the chords flowing, but if you can do it, people's ear kind of hang on those notes. They hear them and they think, yeah, that's right. But once you do that, it lands on a B minor 7 and the vocal melody goes up, and it kind of has this upwards building feeling. So it makes sense to go from the A minor 7 on the one line to the B minor 7 on the next line. If you went from the C instead of the A minor 7, it kind of feels like the chords are going downwards slightly, descending. That's just me. That's just something I felt like pointing out for no particular reason, but that's why I would go for the A minor 7 first, the B minor 7 second. Then we move into the next section. I'm willing and able. This is what I think of as the bridge. Oh, so I throw my cards on your D, C, B minor 7, B flat minor 7, A. So it's, and again, to strum that in time, I would go down, down, up, and you land on the A minor 7 on an up. And then it goes back into the next verse. So that's where that section reaches its end, and you head back to the start of the verse and doing that E minor only once. I wanna love you, I wanna love and treat you, love and treat you right. 2 bars with the riff, every day, and so on and so forth. And it follows that pattern exactly all the way through again. You get to the same spot, heads back and it starts another verse. I want to love you. That's the last verse, and that verse actually fades out. So there is, I felt like I just talked a lot in that song rather than kind of took you note for note through things, but I think the key for this is this. And really lean on that note there, because it's got to carry you through the one beat on the next bar. So if you really kind of lean on that note, it keeps that momentum going, and you can really kind of hit it with some vibrato, which they do on the track. These lines and the bits that are weaving throughout this song are played by clean electric guitars, and there's, you know, nice heavy bass, and there's quite good production going on around this song, which is why it sounds beautiful and spacious and full. On your own, you've got to find your way through these notes to try and make this flow and feel good and balanced on one instrument. So this is why I would do it this way. You get the idea. That's how I would play it. If you find better ways to do it, let me know. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear people's interpretations of how they would tackle this song. Like I said, you can strum all your way through and it's still going to sound nice because it's a timeless song and it's pretty faultless, I think. If you want to do this in the original key, we're in the key of F sharp minor 7 or F sharp minor. You can just put a capo on the 2nd fret and do exactly that, what we just learned. Or you can do everything as bar chords they will be, because what you'll be doing now is going. So you'll be picking this riff out again from that F sharp minor bar chord. Absolutely possible. Then the D. Then when you come to the next bit, it's A, G sharp minor, F sharp minor, right? And also, if you're in the key of F sharp minor, then you're doing things like for the run. And is this love, is this love, is this love, love that I'm feeling? So you're leaning more heavily on the bar chords, I guess, but it's just I'll put a chart up for the F sharp minor version for the original key chords, playing it without a capo. It's all, you know, completely doable, but I just find that playing it in the key of E minor 7 with that open E string underneath that riff sounds better, makes it flow better. It's my opinion, it's my arrangement. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know how you go, and we'll see you here again next time.